Hey guys, Reese here. For this week's Rock Song of the Week, we're actually going to take a look at 3 songs. These come from the Dream Warriors EP by Dokken, which was released in 1987. And basically what an EP well, it stands for Extended Play, and it's kind of one of those things that's longer than a single, but it's not a full-length album. This particular EP was 3 songs long, and the first song was Dream Warriors. And what this EP was it corresponded to the release of the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. And Dokken provided the theme song for this movie. Obviously, the song was Dream Warriors. And if you know anything about Dokken, they actually used the song Dream Warriors on their late 1987 full studio album, Back for the Attack. But the version that was on that appeared in the movie was actually a different recording. It was their first recording. And basically what happened is, when they went into the studio in late 87 to record Back for the Attack, they just re-recorded the song. And so all of the instrumentation, all of the vocal parts are pretty much identical in terms of notes. But when you listen to it, you can just, there are those few small differences and you can tell, oh, these were recorded 2 different times. It's not the same recording. And so it's just kind of cool to listen to. If you like the song Dream Warriors, you're going to like this because it's basically the same. It's nothing groundbreaking. You're not going to listen to it and be like, the world as I know it doesn't make sense anymore, because it's basically the same. But it's just, it's kind of one of those cool things to hear. And I definitely don't like this version any more than the original, but I don't like it less, so it's just kind of cool to listen to. The second track on the album, though, or on the EP, is my favorite Dokken song of all time. It's actually called Back for the Attack, and so you might think, oh, well, so that was on the album Back for the Attack, right? Well, not exactly. It was technically released as a bonus track on some Japanese releases of the album, but for the most part, the song wasn't included there. What it was a song recorded in '85 during the Under Lock and Key sessions, but when it came time to actually get that album put together and get it out, they didn't really feel like the song fit with the other songs, so they just kind of put it on the back burner. And then when it came to '87, they decided to release it on this EP, but they still didn't like it enough to put it on the album. But they liked the name of the song enough that they took it to use for their Back for the Attack album. And honestly, I'm not quite sure why they held it off either album, because it is a fantastic song. At least as of right now, these things will change, but it is my favorite Dokken song, and I've been listening to it for a couple months now, and it just really is not getting old. It combines everything, for me, that makes a really good Dokken song. It starts off with one of those just crunchy, powerful George Lynch guitar riffs that isn't super complex, but just sounds good because of that tone he has, those pinch harmonics that he throws in, and all that stuff. It's great vocal showcase for Don Dokken. These days, I've seen him live a couple times, and let's be honest, he cannot sing anymore. But back in the 80s, he had a really powerful voice, especially when he hit those higher notes, and he would kind of hold them, which is kind of cool, and you hear that a couple times in this song. It's got a great guitar solo by George Lynch. I mean, what song doesn't? Wild Mick Brown. I love his drumming. He goes at those. He's wild when he goes at the drums. He just goes at them with a vengeance, and it just, like I said, it all comes together in a really cool song. Check it out. That's by far my favorite on this EP and of anything Dokken's put out. And then the last song is called Paris is Burning. And it's actually a song that was released on their 1983 debut, Breaking the Chains, but they released it there as a live version recorded in Paris in 1982, and it featured a cool George Lynch solo intro. But for me, even no matter how cool that live version is, I always like to have access to the studio version of the song for whatever reason, and so it was cool to find this. And actually what this song was, that sounds stupid. Dokken originally released Breaking the Chains, their first album, on a French record label, in 1981, and it had, different track listing, a couple songs were swapped out, and then it had Paris is Burning, but it had a studio version. And this is that studio version. And what's neat about it is, even though, you've got a song from 1987 with Dream Warriors, you've got a song from 1985 with Back for the Attack, and then you got this song from 1981 when you think, oh, the Dokken sound really isn't formed yet. the song really flows well with the other two, and it fits in really nicely, which I think is really cool. You know, I can listen to this whole EP, and it doesn't sound like, you know, just all these songs thrown together. It sounds like they are meant to be together. So I would definitely recommend checking out every song on this EP. I mean, it's only 3 songs. Come on. But the only downside is this isn't something that is released on iTunes, Amazon, anything like that. So if you want to hear it, you know, you're going to have to go through YouTube, which is no big deal. You're here now. Or go into your local record store to see if they have a copy, because this was released on vinyl. I'm actually planning the next time I see a copy on vinyl to definitely pick it up. But yeah, just go YouTube this stuff. Tell me what you think, especially Back for the Attack, because like I said, it's my favorite Dokken song. I think it's really cool, and I want to get your opinion. Have you heard the song? Have you not? What do you think of it? And yeah, have a great week.